You run across these liberals, they say they're afraid. What do? Do you just sit there and say, good? That's the way we've been for the last 8 years? Afraid of where our nation's going? Because that's where we were, at least I was. For the last 8 years, I was terrified up to the last day of what Obama would do to this nation.
Yes.
And he proved time and time again that we had some stuff to fear. You know, you have nothing to fear but fear itself or President Obama.
Yes.
One of the,
Yes.
But so we as conservatives know what that fear is for our nation. They now have a fear for our nation. What do we as conservatives, how do we handle their fear? Phone number is 734-822-1600. I would like your opinion as the listeners of how you would deal with their fear. Do you just say, like I said, good? Welcome. This is how we felt for 8 years. Do you gloat? Mm-hmm. Do you sit there and do a dance? Do you do a jig? do you talk to them? What do you do? And I'll put it to you, Phil. How do you deal with it?
Sounds good to me. Let's have a gloat problem. I mean, a party. A gloat
a gloat problem?
A gloat party. Yeah. Sounds like a winner. No, I believe that we have to continue to show that the direction that is being taken now is the correct direction, and we have got to keep things going. Like the 12th, they had a little party to watch the inauguration ceremonies, but they have got to continue to bring more people in and educate more people. And so we don't get to the point where they can sidetrack or derail the progress that'll be shown daily from now on. There's going to be daily progress made because of the policies that he's going to take. Not because of magic, not because of Trump himself, but because of the policies. They're correct for this system.
So your answer really is then to the liberal that comes up and says, I'm afraid, is wait and see.
Yeah,
kind of.
but see as we go along. And
all right, I say wait and see, and you say we see as we go along.
see as we move along.
Right.
And if there are people that object, or if there are people that don't seem to be sure of the steps that they're taking, we've got to make sure that we reinforce their will and their objective to get to that objective.
Okay. We got a caller on the line, Jimmy, who says the answer to dealing with scared liberals is to fend them off. So, Jimmy, what you want to talk about fending off liberals?
Oh, not fending them off. What I said was encourage the liberals that are afraid of Trump to go out and buy guns to defend themselves against this tyrant.
Ah, okay.
And if you look, I have read several articles where they are actually doing just that. They have opened gun clubs. They have started buying guns in record numbers, more than
I welcome
before.
That. Yeah.
And these are liberal people that never owned guns before. I have liberal friends that have called and asked me to help them buy guns.
Yeah.
You know,
hey. And I'm like, I never believed it before, but maybe I do need to buy a gun to protect myself from Donald Trump. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really care if you want to protect yourself, because if Donald Trump goes crazy and becomes Adolf Hitler, he's going to come through me to do that.
Exactly. Exactly. He's got to come through the people that voted for him because, again, most of them have the same attitude that I have, eternal vigilance.
So what you're saying, Jimmy, is that Trump getting elected is actually helping the Second Amendment and the liberals jumping on board.
And I welcome it.
All right, we got on line two. Steve, what's your answer with dealing with these liberals that are frightened?
Well, I just tell them to calm down. When you look at your own daily life, under Bush, under Clinton, under Bush again, under Obama, was it really that different? I mean, Obama ran up the price of ammunition. He started his own wars and stuff. But in your daily life, did things get so much better under Obama?
No, they got worse for me.
Well, they get a little worse, but pretty much there's a lot of consistency in people's everyday life from one president to the next. So this this hysteria is just ridiculous. I tell people to grow up and calm down.
Okay. Colin's answer is to tell him to calm down. There's nothing to fear, be afraid of. No difference. Okay, let's see what Colin, on line 3. What's your answer on dealing with the fear of the liberals?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I agree with Jimmy, the previous caller. I think the left needs to calm down a little bit, and I think the most cogent and sober thing that I heard was on the Glenn Beck show a couple of weeks ago, where he said, "Well, how do you deal with these people who are just terrified?" And instead of gloating and saying, "Good, I'm glad you're terrified," I believe just show some compassion.
Well,
hey, you know what? I know how you feel.
Thanks for setting Phil straight.
You know, I mean, it's the right and compassionate thing to do, is to say, yeah, you know, I mean, I know how you feel. I felt this way for a long time, and you know, let's just wait and see. Let's not panic.
Right.
See how things are going to go, and if it doesn't go your way, then you know, don't take to the streets and riot and burn things and destroy property. Lobby your your representatives and you know, get involved, but don't panic. Just ask them to not panic, and then for us, don't gloat, don't rub it in. We don't need to be abrasive and you know, awful the way they've been to us. I think we should take the high road and show some compassion.
Colin, I'm more along your camp on this one. And maybe I'll go further. Maybe just as far. Here's where I'm at on it is, yes, I know what it is to be frightened for your nation. Mm-hmm. As I said, going into this question, I've been frightened for this nation for the last 8 years. And we need to be a little bit of empathetic, if not sympathetic, with them. Granted, they might want the nation to go in a different direction, but they do have a love for their nation. They want to take it somewhere where I don't want it to go. But there is a love for their nation there. And I see this as an opportunity. Instead of just causing a bigger division between us, we can use this as an opportunity to narrow the gap of division and start bringing us together by allowing conversation to happen between us.
Well,
use this moment for conversation. Use this moment to educate and maybe even move along the conservative cause through conversation.
But that's what the Tea Party experience is about. They grouped up together and they reinforced their belief in the institutions that work for us. The Constitution. They rallied around that Constitution. That's what the Tea Party is about.
So I think we can actually take that model from the Tea Party, then, if you so speak, or what Colin is saying, mm-hmm. At least what I'm hearing him say, mm-hmm. is that we use this as a chance to open up dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And you know, we've been painted with such a broad negative brush by the media. Here's an opportunity for us to show our true colors and, you know, show some love and compassion and just say, hey, look, you know, we know how you feel. Maybe there's a whole lot more common ground that we have together than you've been led to believe.
Just to give you an example of this, I sat down with a young man the other night. He was a school teacher up in Detroit. And he just sat there and says, I am absolutely terrified. I don't know what to do. And I said, what are you terrified about? And he came back with this back. Does it mean make America great? Does that mean make America white again? Does that mean, you know, and I had to calm all that down. I says, no, it doesn't mean any of that. What it does mean is we want to move as conservatives to a place where there's less government interfering with our lives, giving everyone equal chances, but less government. Now, he's a big government kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But then he says, well, why do you want a smaller government? And I was able to go in and have that. We had a wonderful conversation. Mm-hmm. Now, when we walked away, I'm not sure that he didn't change my mind on anything. I'm not sure I changed his. But at least we had an understanding where we were each coming from.
And that kind of understanding can be achieved by things like guns, like...
We're going into a hard break. Thanks a lot, Colin. Coming up next, put your seatbelts on. Walter's on the phone with us, and he's going to tell us how he would deal with the liberals.
People are always on the go, driving to work, running errands. How do they keep informed? They listen to Wham Talk 1600 just like you. If you're a business owner, your message can reach these people wherever their travels take them. People tune to Wham Radio for the latest issues, discussed by hosts like Joe Pags, Fayron X, and Dana Lesh. And they'll stay tuned for your message as well. Call 734-971-1600 today and advertise your business with Wham Radio and whamradio.com. Whamradio.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Protests around the world marking President Trump's first full day in office at the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
There are more than, it seems, about 500,000 women, grandmothers, mothers, daughters, fathers with girls on their shoulders who have taken to the streets.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin, one speaker, actress Scarlett Johansson asking the new president to support all women.
Support my daughter, who may actually, as a result of the appointments you have made, grow up in a country that is moving backwards, not forwards.
The president now meeting with intelligence leaders at the CIA in Langley, Virginia, and former President George H.W. Bush and his wife said to be recovering at a hospital in Houston.
The spokesperson says they are not out of the woods just yet. The medical team feels they're, quote, at the edge of the forest.
Fox's Casey Stiegel, Fox News. We report, you decide.
It's time now for Wham Talk 1600's Community Calendar with Brandon Drake.
The Don Farm Education Series is a free annual series providing practical information about chemical dependency, recovery, family concerns, and related issues. This unique program, now entering its 26th year, is designed to reduce the misinformation, secrecy, shame, and stigma that prevent people with addictions and their families from getting help and getting well, and to help create a community culture that supports recovery. Alcohol and other drug addiction touches virtually everyone in some way, yet when addiction hits home, people often feel isolated, frightened, confused, hopeless, and unsure of where to turn for help. The education series will help people with substance addiction attain long-term recovery and how family, friends, and others can support recovery and restore well-being to their own lives. This year's series includes new programs as well as previous favorites. The series is designed to have broad appeal for diverse audiences. People in recovery, people interested in recovery, family members, friends, students, professionals, and anyone interested in any topic are all welcome. The series is organized by Dawn Farm, a nonprofit organization founded in 1973 that provides a continuum of quality services for people with alcohol and other drug problems. This year's series will kick off September 20th, 2016 and continue through May 2017. Most presentations take place at St. Joseph Mercy Hospital Education Center, 5305 Elliott Drive in Ypsilanti. For more information about Dawn Farm programs, call 734-485-8725 or visit dawnfarm.org.
You've been listening to the Wham Community Calendar. To have your event publicized, email community@whamradio.com or write to Brandon Drake, COWAAM, 4230 Packard Road, Ann Arbor, 48108. Wham Talk 1600.
I'm Gary Wellings, Chief Editor of The Current and The Daily Drift. With today's internet environment, it's easy to get information overload. The best way to process this information and cut through the internet chatter is to get your news delivered in a concise and effective manner. Get the news you need to know at thedailydrift.com. Check out The Daily Drift, one of the fastest growing websites around. At The Daily Drift, I find the local, state, national, and international stories you won't get from the mainstream media, and I make it easy for you to link to them. You'll also get original common sense opinions from local writers. You can even get a free subscription that will deliver a link to your email inbox every day for free. You'll also get instant access to all archived podcasts of the Drift Radio Show and links to the best articles, opinions, and websites. Go to www.thedailydrift.com. That's the news you'll need to know at thedailydrift.com.
You're listening to The Drift on Wham Talk 1600. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. Now, back to your host, Gary Wellings.
And Gary Wellings is out on assignment today. I am Pastor Rick Dietering, filling in with my partner in crime, Phil Stargell. How are you doing this afternoon, Phil?
We are We are coming to the home stretch.
Who you talking? You got a mouse in your pocket?
Yep.
Hey, got to take care of a little business here.